Assalamu alaikum everyone, which means peace and blessings be upon you, all the non-Muslim viewers out there. First of all, just have a read of my disclaimer that explains very clearly what my intentions and my motives are. Second of all, just a quick reminder again, these are my own personal experiences, these are my own voice, this is my own voice. No one can ever stop me from speaking my own experience, right? I'll remind that over and over again. This is something I've lived from my childhood until my very last breath, right? I can speak my own experience. I'm speaking to a camera. I'm not directly speaking at anyone. I'm not giving any names. I'm not pointing at anyone. I speak on a general audience, a general vibe, right? So anyone that wants to take this personal, that's up to them. I've already made my disclaimer. I've said this over and over again. I'll continue repeating saying it. People can get upset over it. People can get cut over it. People can take whatever of it they want. I don't care. That's not my concern. Right? So I'd like to remind that over and over again, both for legal purposes and for my own sake and for the viewer's sake, right? I don't hate anyone. If you see disrespect from me in person, right, which generally you won't see at this point. In the past, yes, I had my mistakes. I have my things that I've done wrong, but I'm trying to develop myself and be better, right? But from this point on, episode 5, episode 6 onwards, right? Since I've come out of prison, which has been 2 months, and today is the 21st of Friday, 2:21 p.m., right? 2:21 p.m., 21st Friday, November, okay? It's been 2 months and 4 days since I've got out of prison, right? That's where I believe my new life began. That's where I believe that I've changed, right? Anything I've done in the past, I continuously reflect on it. I continuously expose on camera, off camera, right? But from this point onwards, if I'm speaking in a car where there's no one around me, and I clearly state to you, it's very general, right? Things that I see needs to be preached, things that I see wrong. This is my voice, this is my opinion, right? That's it. Unless you see disrespect from me in person, if I've sworn at you in person, if I've got angry at you in person, and I've shown arrogance in person, and I've cheated you, and I've deceived you, and I've done wrong to you in person, not on camera, because you're not in front of me right now. I don't know who's watching this. I have no idea who's watching it. I'll post it either way, whether I get 1 view or 500 views, I don't care. I speak to a camera. I'm not speaking to you directly. I can't see behind the screen, right? So again, people can take what they want of this, the good that I'm trying to preach, or they can take it personal and be like, he's talking to me, even though I have no idea where you are, what you're doing. And I've given you the date and time. I don't know when I'll upload this, right? I don't know if it's going to come out tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to come out 2 months later. I just speak and I generate content as it comes. And another thing is, from this point onwards, I just press record. There is no attempting again. Episode 6 onwards is just I press record, whether it comes out shit, whether it comes out good, whether it comes out bad, whether I regret it, whether I think that it's good, I press record. Both our generation, both with this, I put everything out there as is. On the first go, straight raw, straight truth. No re-edits, no doing it again, no thinking over it. Just speak as I will, right? Straight to the point. Straight to the point. And I've shown you all my mistakes and my sins in the past. And I put everything out there. I don't claim to be a scholar. I don't claim to be someone, right? And I'll remind you again, I am jobless currently. This is my current situation. 21st November, Friday, 2:22 p.m., right? 2:24 p.m., right? That's my current situation. I have no business. I'm on Centrelink. I barely have any money, right? That's my current situation. I've got out of prison 2 months ago. So I generate as it comes. Whether this changes tomorrow or whatnot, I don't know. That's up to God, right? I want to speak about character today, right? That's what I want to focus on. And I'm going to connect it to many different topics, and I don't know how long I'll speak for. I don't put a timer on. The reason for that is I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, is this going to be too long for people? Are people going to like it or appreciate it? Are people going to watch? Whatever. Watch it, don't watch it. Watch 5 minutes of it, watch the whole thing. In that sense, I don't care. I appreciate anyone that watches it. Don't get me wrong. Anyone that takes the good out of this, honestly, anyone that takes the good out of this and supports me, and there have been people that have been very supportive from day one, right? Anyone at any point that supports this, right? And that takes the good out of it, in the sense where it's not about my word. It's not about my word. That's the part that you're getting confused. It's not about my word. It's not about me saying something to you, because I'm not saying it to you. You're not in front of me, right? I'm saying it to myself, and I just speak on a general vibe. And of course, there are going to be wrong stuff that I say. I admit this very clearly. I have arrogance. I have pride. I have sin. I'm a nobody, right? I haven't studied. I haven't got any education degree. I don't have a job, right? This is me right now as is. If you, out of this whole video, take the good of it, right? And you leave the bad, which everyone has goods and bads. Out of, let's say, an hour video, an hour and a half video that I made, and you say, okay, these parts I agree to it, whether it's 20%, 30%, 40%, 100%, 90%, whatever it is. And these I don't. That's what I'm trying to preach. Do that. Do that. That is my whole point. That is what I'm trying to say from day one, right? That's my whole preach on my whole page. It's everyone has mistakes. Everyone, whatever I say, whatever a scholar says, or a businessman says, a rich person says, a poor person says, a person without a job, a person with a job, an organization and not an organization, whatever it is, right? There is always going to be the good and bad. No one is perfect. No one is perfect. No one is perfect. There's always going to be mistakes. There's always going to be something that said. The moment you sit there, or the moment I sit there and say every word I've said, and you agree to yourself, right? I agree to myself saying every word that I said, every AI generation that I made, everything is gold. It's pure gold. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm absolutely right in everything that I state. That's the moment that I lose. And I continuously say that on all my podcasts, on all my AI generations. I continuously reveal, exposing, saying, look, I've got sins. Look, this is where I came from. I've done drugs. I've had girlfriends. I've had experiences with girls. I haven't prayed. I haven't fasted at times. During Ramadan, I haven't fasted. I broke it. I didn't want to. I went years and years without prayer. I didn't pray, right? I have a lot of major sins. Yeah, I have anger, I have pride, I have arrogance. I have this strong character, which to some I can understand can make the person get turned off from it, right? Saying, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah, exactly. Say that, bro. Who the fuck am I? I'm a nobody, cuz. I'm a nobody, right? Say it. In that sense, I can say that to myself, right? I can say to my own ego, I'm a nobody. But this doesn't mean, this does not, there's a thin line of oppression, speaking the truth and being yourself. Yes, I know I'm a nobody. That's it. But I won't let anyone stop me in what I speak, how I act. Because anyone that sees me in person, from this point onwards, because I'm constantly working on myself, right? But you don't see behind the scenes. No one sees behind the scenes, and that's life. You see a 30-second video on TikTok or Instagram, and suddenly we know that person, or you have one interaction with one person, and suddenly you think that you know that person. We don't know what anyone is going through. This is only whatever, let's say an hour or 10 minutes of my time, and the rest of the 23 hours, you don't know what I'm going through. I don't know what anyone else is going through. I don't. I'm simply trying to speak the truth in preaching, saying these are the mistakes that I see, because I've said this before as well. A person that's been in my position will never be able to know. A scholar, an imam, a successful businessman, a person that's led a straight life, because I haven't led a straight life. I've been through the ups and downs. I've been through prison. I've been in bad environments. I've been with people that I shouldn't be, maybe, in a way, right? I've been through this. So because I've been through it, a person that hasn't been through these will not be able to have this insight, this look into it. They won't. It's impossible. And I'm not recommending anyone to go through this life. I've never ever stated saying, oh, it's okay to do drugs, it's okay to do crime, it's okay to, break the law, and it's okay. I don't preach that. I just say this is my past. I've been through it, so now I'm reflecting, saying from what I've been through, from my character, this is what I like to preach. Because don't go down that path. Don't break the law. Don't commit crime. Stick to the law. Stick to a straight life. Stay away from drugs. Stay away from arrogance and pride, and swearing like this. Even the mistakes that I do, whatever, stay away from it. That's my mistakes. That's my sin. That's me. Don't take from it. But this doesn't mean that I'm gonna be fake, because these are my mistakes. These are my mistakes. I don't claim that I don't have any sin. I don't claim that I'm not perfect. So I come into the camera with all my sins, all my imperfections, with my ego, with my pride, with my arrogance, with my wrongs and with my rights, right? But I'm able to do that because I've picked up the camera and I've shown this to the world, and everything that I've generated, A to Z, every AI generation that I made 2 months ago from day one, I all saved. I've got 30, 40 plus content. Every video now, I said it's going up on the first go. Every video that I make, it's going straight online, good or bad. Whether I change my mind 2 weeks later and I go into a different mindset, I go, no, I got to remember where I came from. I got to know how I feel right now in the present time, so it's going up. Whether there's a backlash, and I know there is going to be a backlash, I fully understand the backlash that's going to come with this, and it has come. You know, the legal threats, the, you know, getting kicked out of places that, you know, don't come here, don't be next to us. I've been through it, and it's not something that's new to me. Since year 7, again, this is my life experience. I can speak and give examples on however I want. No one can ever stop me. Since year 7, I've been getting kicked out of social religious gatherings. I wasn't accepted because I was always judged. Yes, I have my mistakes in, you know, oh, like I was too aggressive, you know, I was on drugs, and, you know, I have, you know, I'm not suited for the environment. 100%. But let me give you an example. Right, mosques. They preach about not spying. They preach about character. Okay. Now, from what I see, from what I've seen personally, I've seen, again, it's not specific. This is general, global, worldwide, right? I've seen in mosques where the people that preach, right, the people that call themselves a scholar, the people that call themselves an imam, the guy doesn't even do the tasbih after the namaz. Doesn't. I've seen him just as namaz finished, boom, they're gone. And they start chatting and they start getting into the worldly stuff. Okay. Now I can understand anyone else because they don't claim to be that position. But what are you talking about? Okay, and now, you know, you might have not done it then and you might have done 100 times. Whatever, that's what I see. Since you want to talk about character and you want to talk about, you know, the truth and all that. Okay, here's another example. We live in Australia, Melbourne, Australia, right? That's the country I'm from. And in this country, you see such laws, such amazing laws, right? Where from even a video cut out at 12 minutes, but I'll continue from where I left off. In Australia, Melbourne, right? I really respect the culture here, right? The people, the culture, the government here. Honestly, I do. And the reason why I'm saying this is, you see, and everyone that lives in Australia would know this, right? You see children crossing during school time. What does the government do, right? They go from 2:30 to 3:30 or 4, even if it's for 2 hours, they put someone there. And I've worked security as well, right? There were events where they took the extra step where, and you see events generally organized, and I'd like to emphasize this very clearly, organized by a non-Muslim. These are non-Muslim people that do this, like the Aussie culture, the Aussies, and I respect that. I have the utmost respect for the amount of, you know, to the detail that they follow the law, saying no, like we have to follow the law, we have to, you know, get it on point. And it's not about being perfect and this and that. It's just, I'm connecting it to an example, right? The most basic example. So mosques have this problem, right? Every week for years, the time doesn't change. Jummah prayer is at 1:30, right? And generally with all mosques, because so many people come, which is amazing, right? The place gets clogged up, you know, there's problems with getting out of the road. Some roads, it's an 80 road, it's very busy. Some roads are, you know, more tighter and they're 40 roads. But either way, besides the point. Now, as an organization, I say to you, as an organization, if you've made this reminder, right? Just a basic example. You've made this reminder as an imam, right? First, now you've talked about character and you've talked about problems. One, you haven't done the tasbih, you just went straight to talking and chatting, right? Which is whatever, I don't care, but I'm going to still speak my truth. Two, there's this main problem that I've been hearing for years and years. Oh, like, you know, and there's been complaints from other people that surround, you know, saying, what is this, you know, it's getting out of hand, it's getting complicated. But the number one issue, traffic control, right? Now, if someone comes out of that road and a car hits and a family dies, right? Will you not be held accountable? You know that there's a problem since you know, there's all mosques making this reminder saying, be careful, don't park here, don't park there, be careful when you're getting out, you know, it's a busy road. For all places, this is a big problem. Councils have come and given fines and all that, right? The government gets involved saying, don't park here, don't do this. Okay, so here's the solution. Since you're an organization, since you have the money, since you deal with millions of dollars, why don't you spend money from your fund, from your organization, into saying, you know what, let me show the non-Muslim people out there, the government, you know, and it's not about the government or the law in the sense, it's about showing your character as a Muslim, saying, you know what, we see the problem, and we see that Australia, especially like this country, I'm talking about specifically Melbourne, Australia, because that's how it evolves, you know. That's the point that they're very sensitive to, and each country can be different. But if you have the opportunities, and I know organizations have the opportunity, they've got millions of dollars, right, to deal with. They've got donations found, they're connected to, you know, funds from the government in Australia, Melbourne. The government personally gives millions of dollars to organizations, saying, here, you know, use it to grow. Now, if you've made this comment, what's stopping you as an imam? Because it's your full-time job, right? It's your full-time job. That's what you should be focused on. That's what a full-time job is. A full-time job isn't, when I ran a business or any sort of full-time job, I always gave it my 110%. I did. Whether it was a 9 to 5, whether it was a business, because, and clear, let's state on business terms, when it becomes your business, because you know you're going to get, like you say to yourself, if I work extra hard now, if I look at every single detail, right? How much I spent, every dollar, every cent, which is, whoa, like people really love doing that, right? When it comes to their own money and their own business, whoa, man, they would stay day and night. Like they would be open, they would be aware, they'll be like, I got to give this 110%. Why? Because they are in the hopes that this business is going to bring them not 50,000, 100,000, 100,000, $1 million, right? So they give 110%, 110%, because it's their own money, it's their own effort, right? But when it comes to working for an organization, they chill. It's like, yeah, whatever. Why don't you give you 110%? And if you've made that statement, why don't you be like, you know what? I work at this organization. This is my job. Why don't I put a muezzin, which is a helper, an assistant, right? Why don't I organize that? Why don't I follow up on that? Why don't I try looking into, you know, social media managers, something that's affordable, something that's cheap, you know, something that's going to work my way, someone that I can hire so they can follow up on it, so we can get this social media of the mosque, of this organization, at its full potential. And and don't get me wrong, there are many organizations that do this. Honestly, you see some organizations, wow, man, you see them on social media, they make 30-second short reels, they make long videos, they make podcasts, they make AI generation even. They are on all platforms. Just the way my page is on like 5 different platforms, right? They are on everywhere because they're giving it 110%, 110%. They even travel, and I respect that. They jump on the plane, they go to different countries, they organize, you know, the places to stay at, they organize the events, they work, they give it 110%. They give it their all. Right? And you see social media and all that. Yeah, it goes like, there are people that do this. There are people that do it, that people that don't do it. But I'm talking about the ones that don't. Since you've made that statement, and since it's your full-time job, right? And you want to speak about character. And again, I'm sick and tired of hearing, that's my main point, of hearing preachers and scholars or whoever, educated people, on saying stuff about character and looks and all that. Statements made like, we shouldn't spy. Brother, you want to talk about spying? You really want to talk about spying to me? So when you spy, when I get kicked out of a chat, when I get kicked out of a religious gathering, when I get shut down, when my messages get deleted, when I get told very clearly, even up until today, even when I've completely gone off the drugs, right? I'm doing my community service, I'm jobless, I've lost everything, right? In that sense. In the future, I don't believe I lost everything. I won myself. I won my courage. I conquered my own inner demons. I conquered my storm. That is the most valuable thing to me ever, right? I got my voice. That's worth more than $1 million to me, right? But since you want to, hey everyone, sorry, the video cut out for episode 6. The phone was overheating. It was in the afternoon and there's no aircon in this car, so it's 21st November, Friday, 6:59 p.m. Episode 6 continuing. Just the phone cut out like just the third time, but it doesn't matter. the weather is much cooler now, so I'll continue where I left off. I was speaking about spying, yeah. So there are, if I'm speaking on this platform, on this camera, there are thousands, God knows how many imams there are around the world, right? And again, I'm looking around because there was a guy here with a CLA 45 and he got pissed off that I parked up here because I think he had the missus, and yeah, there's no one else here, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna stop my recording. I parked here at a car park because it's more quiet on the side of the road. Sorry, the video cut out. Just continuing episode 6 of the podcast. It's 7 p.m. 21st of November, Friday. And as I've said, I haven't. I'm trying to keep my word and my promise that I put up a recording. Whether it cuts out, whether I like it, whether I don't like it, whether I feel in a different mood, it's gonna go up the first time as is, without trying again over and over and trying to decide the duration and whatnot. So anyways, well, speaking about spying, right? So when it comes to spying, right, how come it's okay that, and understand when I say this, right, understand why I'm so focused on scholars and organizations and religious preachers and, you know, whatnot, on a general vibe, right? Why am I so focused? Because I'll tell you this, your general public doesn't claim any of these positions, right? They don't claim to, you know, be a preacher, be an imam, be a spiritual leader of any sort, right? They don't claim these positions and titles in any organizations, right? You've got the leaders, you know, the people that take up these positions with the wages, yeah, with some, you know, very high wages at times as well. That brings me back to my other topic. Where are the bank statements, brother? If you're any organization that is registered for charity purposes, charity, this involves religion. Any organization, any religion, yeah? If you preach that name, if you uphold that name and you say, I work for religion, I work for charity, I work for this title, then show us the bank statements. What are you hiding from? Why are you hiding it for? Show the bank statements of how much money was spent in a mosque, of your organization, of events. Show it, make it public. If you're dealing with people's money, right? Because it goes back to my same topic of spying and double standards, and it comes back to exactly what I'm trying to preach from day one. They go out saying these statements, right? Spying, for example. How come it's okay for you to spy then, brother? Why is it okay for you to spy? Why is it not spying when you delete my message and you don't like it and you read it and you go, no? Is it not okay when you have different groups, set groups, and you claim territory on those groups, saying this is my group, that's your group, and you kick people out? I was told very clearly not to come because of these videos. Ever since, it's been 2 months, just over 2 months, I was told very clearly people don't want to see me. I chose not to come anyway. That's my, I don't care if people want to see me or don't see me. I don't really give a fuck. I don't. I'll still walk into any public place like a mosque because that's for public, right? As for private gatherings, as for private places, that's private. That's not an issue. If you don't want me there, you don't want me there. That's not a problem, right? I'm only looking around because I'm at a car park. There's security that came, but anyways, it's people that come and go. Yeah, private is private. Public, you can't if it's declared open publicly, no one can stop me going into any mosque, right? I'll walk in and I'll speak my truth as is. But I'm telling you right now, the date as well, 21st November, Friday, I was told last week, I was told very clearly, don't come, there's some people that don't want to see you. Be it, brother, no worries. Did I not tell you that I'll drop everyone's mask? Did I not tell you that this is global? Did I not preach this from day one? If this makes you uncomfortable, and that's the thing, if you see, go on the present. It's all about the present. It's not about the past. It's not about the future. It's about awareness. It's about opening your eyes and in the present, right now, in the moment. That's what it's about. And anyone that sees me, or again, when I said it's been 2 months since I came out of prison, anyone that sees me after making these videos, because I started generating these videos, I'll still speak my truth, I'll still say it as it is. But anyone that generally sees me, I have my mistakes. I'm generally the first thing I do is always act kind. Whether this was, throughout my whole life. Yeah, we're not perfect. That's not the aim. You'll see me fall. You'll see me have mistakes. You'll see actions of me that you don't like. But I'll give you one example. I met people that are millionaires, right? I've done business. I met millionaire people, millionaires. I met one person that's a millionaire, right? Yet, when he saw me, this was over the years, whether I was praying or not, whatever condition I was. And I showed my respect and I smiled, like just the present, the moment. And that person, millionaire, picked up the box, opened up the factory, and gave that product to me with himself. And he's got hundreds of workers and he's a millionaire. And every time I have an interaction with him or people of that such nature, they are so humble and kind. That's what being a real man is, and that's what I'm trying to preach. Whether even if I sleep tomorrow and I stop praying or whatever, that doesn't make me a bad person. And that's what goes back to my topic. It's not about religion. It's not about, upholding and trying to enforce rules and laws and regulations on people. It's about the present moment. And I go off the present. If I see someone, and I've seen the other way around as well, people that are in high positions, right? This is my experience, brother. I can speak my voice. I'm not giving any names. You're not going to stop me in explaining my life experiences. These belong to me. You don't have any right to it, right? And I've seen people that were in charge in high positions, and I'll give you one example. I was a very shy person. I was a people pleaser, I couldn't even speak up, but I kept my heart humble in many ways, yeah? And I accept my mistakes fully, right? But I'm not going to be stuck on my past and say, oh, I'm sorry, this and that. I've said that many times over. I'll keep repeating myself. I will. I don't claim to be perfect, but anyways, I saw, and I've seen religious people, right? People that claim these titles and positions. I remember I shook one of their hands, and I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? Welcome, this and that. I had no idea who he was, and I got reactions like, this exact word, do you know who I am? Do you know my name? And I still remember, I got very, very good memory of all the experience that I've lived. Like that's my talent in that sense, where I can remember details very clearly. Right? This isn't shit talk. This is very clear. This is real life example that happened. A religious person that's high up there. He just looked at me. He's like, do you know who I am? And I looked up and I was like, I had a lot of stress on my mind. I'm like, what's going on? I wasn't really aware, right? And he goes, my name is this. And I remember in that moment, even in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, relax, brother. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are in that sense. Like, good on you. Not that I have any sort of hate towards you, but clearly, like, look at the interaction that we had. I've said welcome. I've said hello. I even, not bow down my head, but I act humble. That was my current situation because I was much younger. I was 22, 23. I was a bit of a people pleaser. I was getting crushed. But anyways, my intentions were good. And straight away, within that 10-second convo, Do you claim your title over me? You've lost all respect. You've lost all respect. I don't care. This is like, the only reason why I'm saying this, again, for religious people, right? Religious. I don't focus on non-religious people, right? People that, for example, don't follow Islam, people that are atheists, people that of a different religion, because one, I'm Muslim, so that's the religion that I choose to talk about. I don't know much about other religions. This is the religion that I believe is true and correct, and my preach is to first be human, to be kind. That's my main route. Yeah. Any other businessman, this and that, okay. Respect is important. Yeah, it is. But you got to stay humble to yourself. You got no excuse. No, when you preach, when you put that religion there, you got no excuse. I don't claim that title, do I? I don't claim that title. If I claim the title here, then yeah. Come say whatever you want to me. Be like, okay. You claim yourself a scholar, you claim this, you claim that, you know, you can't speak on these topics and you can't preach this and you can't preach that. But I've never claimed anything. I am who I am. I don't stand for a title. Yeah? I want to do business. I've got my own way. I stay in my own lane. But you want to speak about spying? And then what? 5 minutes later, you, boom, gone. You talk about character and religion, and then you don't even do the tespiyat, which takes you, what, 2 minutes? And then you straight away go on to talking. Yeah, I get 99.99% of people can do that. They can do that, but you can't because you're an imam. Or if you're a scholar, you can't. Because the reason why I'm saying this is when it comes to talk of character and giving examples, they're very good at that. So delusional to the point that the stuff that come out of your mouth is like traffic control. Do it then. Do it. Who's gonna do it? Do you expect me to do it? Do you expect other people to do it? That is your job. That is a part of your job. It depends on how hard you go. But people want to focus on very specific tasks. My money will only go to this certain place. Anything else is not important. If you spent money, then you would show anyone out there, the hundreds of cars that pass the whole community, because we're in a country, we're in Australia, that is non-Muslim. You would show the government, you would show the community, you would show everyone saying, wow, man, these guys, they'll pass, they'll see a mosque, and they'll be like, look at these guys, man, they played it so professional. They actually went out of their way, and every Friday from, starting, let's say, at 12 o'clock till 2 o'clock, they actually put traffic control there. They put guidance so people keep it safe. And is that not how Australia works? When you see roadworks, isn't there 50 signs that like warn you, and cones and everything just for safety, just so one of the workers don't get run over? You need high vis, you need hard boots, you need to obey the rules to the inch. Proper companies that follow the rules to its proper, because that's what they're trying to uphold. The human life value. And you're inside that mosque saying this, saying, oh, be careful everyone, it's very dangerous and it's an 80 road, and be careful. Clearly it's gonna happen. We're human. I was crossing the road and I nearly got ran over. I looked for like the first 2 minutes and there were cars this close about to hit each other. And you've got a full-time appointed position and you've got $1 million mosque and you've got the world's money and resources, but let me just say it, that's like no action to it. Brother, don't talk about character if you can't stand behind your words. That's what being a hypocrite is. It's walking away when you haven't even done the tespiyat and you talk about religion and you put that religious name in between your mouth. And you want to straight away go blend into the community of all scholars of all types. You have to be the number one example. You have to. And there were people there doing the tespiyat, but the imam wasn't. He was gone. And I've seen this with many scholars and many religious people that preach. Brother, if you're not doing this in public, then I honestly, it's my opinion, I'm not giving any names, but I don't think that you do it behind closed doors. Because like when I hear these stuff, yeah, there's good that come out. I'm picking out the bad. I'm picking out the stuff that I see. Because right now, every time I realize when you listen to scholars and it's like so repetitive over and over again, it makes you think. It's like, brother, does this person ever reflect on himself? Does he ever watch his videos? For example, I watch my videos. I try to watch all my videos. I'm going to go back right now. I don't want to lie, but I said to myself, I'm like, you know what? I'm on episode 6. The last episode, I haven't watched it, but all the other episodes that I've done, I've watched it. All my AI generations, I've watched it. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to rewatch my episode 5, and I'm going to rewatch this episode 6. Just to analyze every word. Just so I can have a self-reflection of everything that came out of my mouth. That's for me. But it comes to a point where you realize people keep repeating the same stuff over and over. It's not in one day, it's like years and years and years. And you want to talk about spying. You want to talk about spying in politics to me? So it's okay. The rules go out the window when you become an organization. When you stand for a title, the laws and the rules don't apply to you. It doesn't. It goes out the window. Why? Because you tell yourself, oh, you know, I belong to this organization, and our outlook is much bigger. We don't give a fuck if someone dies on the road, if there's a family of 5 that, you know, crashes, and we've been warned many times by the council, and we've had many complaints, and it's been years and years, but we're just gonna say it. Yeah, we don't care if there's no social media. You know why? Who cares? But if it was your business, if someone told you, and this goes for me as well, when it's your business, everyone gives 110%, as much as they can, to their every dollar, right? To their every dollar. Saying, you know, you'll get involved. The whole family working day and night. And I've been through it. I've worked 60, 70 hours. I've worked day and night. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with you. You give it your 110%. But what I see and what I hate seeing is when you claim that title, when you claim that position, and you don't give it 110%. You just look forward to that 20 minutes of that speech that you want to make, and the rest, like, nah, yallah, I don't care. Do it then, brother. Do it. That's what part of your job. That's what going beyond is. Do it. Be a good employee. In every workplace, isn't there a good employee? Isn't there a hard-working employee? Everyone that knows this. The ones that work hard, and I've got nothing against 9-to-5 jobs. The ones that, if anything, the ones that dedicate, the ones that stay loyal, the ones that stay at the companies for 5-6 years, and everyone can have different situations. I'm not saying everyone has to be like this, but the ones that work hard generally, yeah, you work hard for yourself. That's it. Some companies will reward that and be like, yeah, we appreciate your loyalty. There are companies that reward that, saying, I see that out of these 100 employees, there's this, and I've lived this myself, having this experience. The ones that work hard, the managers, the company will give you more leniency. They'll appreciate you when there's a promotion, when there's, you know, an application for a higher position. They look at the ones that give 110%, not the bare minimum. That's how life works. Everyone knows this. Again, I've said this before as well. Everything that I state is just common knowledge. Very basic knowledge. Everyone knows this. This goes for a 9-to-5. This goes for a business. This goes to an organization. This is rule of life. You get how much you put in. You put in minimum effort. Fair enough. That's, again, I've got no hate towards that. That's up to you. But you put in maximum effort, then you get the maximum rewards for it. That's life. That's life in general. But when it comes to religion, it's different. That's why I will keep attacking in a way. You might see this, because I know people see this as attacking. And the reason why I use these words is because I got told not to come, and I'm sick and tired of it. This has happened to me since year 7. And I understood. I look back, I'm like, you know what? I've been to prison. I was angry. I was, you know, arrogant person. I was off my religion. You know, I was this, I was that. And I came to the age of 29 years old, and I tried fixing up a lot of aspects of myself in every way. And that's between me and God, for no one else. I'm not going to come tell you all the good that I've done. That's beyond my point. You can think whatever you want. But when I still see that even my videos hurt people, then I go, brother, I'm not the problem. And that's what I preach. Speak your truth. Speak your truth. If you want, where are the bank statements? If you got nothing to hide, show the bank statements then, bro. Show it. That's not your money. That's not your private money. Show it. Show the public saying, this is how much we spent. This is where the money. Show the wages then. A private organization doesn't have to do that, because they claim that they're private. They're private. They go, no, this is none of your business. This is my business. But you don't claim that. You say we're public. We're charity. We are open to them, and you deal with public's money. You deal with public's money. So there's a trust that you put there. Show it then. Why aren't you showing it? Why aren't you fixing up the problems? Like, that's what I look at. When I hear it's, yeah, I get the good of, you know, the teachings of religion, the basic, you know, character being good, this and that, but it slides away to, oh, we must not spy, and we must not look, and we must be kind, and we must look at ourselves. And it goes on to religious topics, and it's pick point again. People that, you know, you'll be judged on your character and how you treat people, and, you know, you shouldn't spy, and you shouldn't reveal people's mistakes and their shortcomings. And if you do, there's a hadith, there's a saying in the Quran that says that you'll end up in hellfire and that you shouldn't have. And this, like, it's very based. It's like, brother, you are putting your own securities onto other people. And the only reason why I say this, I'm not saying what you said isn't good or bad. I don't care. And you don't know who I'm talking about. But I look at one thing, I go, okay, there's a problem here, done. There's many problems here. There's a problem of no muezzin, there's a problem of the traffic control, there's seeing the bloke walk out straight away after prayer. And I go, okay, then yeah, clearly this guy's not giving 110%, so I'm not going to listen to him. And you would feel that automatically. And I've witnessed this, and this isn't about today, this isn't about yesterday. I've said this over and again. This is my whole 29 years of my life. Not aimed at anyone. And I'm trying to specifically focus, saying that this is what gives Islam a shit name. Right now, be honest with yourself. Does Islam not have a shit name? Does it not have a stigma to it? Have I not said in my previous podcast, when you mention religion to people, they tell you to shut the fuck up. They swear at God. And you still want to focus on character and the little people. We get it, brother. We get it. We understand. You've said it a million times. The information is out there. Everyone should focus on themselves. But you just go in and you see the same stuff over and over again. And it's like the guy preaches something, but he completely goes out of his own way. He says there's an issue here, but it's not fixed. Like, and it's been weeks and years. And he'll say it again the next week. He'll go, then brother, fucking fix it. And for the people that want to hate, again, I'm only acting harsh like this because I see the backlash that comes in the sense where I don't have to say anything, right? It automatically comes to me. I've always stayed in my lane. I don't go around asking, gossiping. I'm completely off social media. I've said this before as well. I don't use social media. I don't have anyone added. But I just see it. I see the mistakes and I speak, and I will continue to speak, and I'll put it to you in another way for individuals, right? Because this isn't just about organizations and scholars, individuals, right? For anyone out there, you want to claim a religious title as a businessman. Yeah, I've seen this as well, businessman. Okay, let's talk about businessmen. You want to claim that you're righteous, and I've heard people like this as well, yeah? You'll see someone saying, I'm a part of this organization, right? Which automatically makes them religious, automatically. And I remember a lot of people used to tell me this as well. So automatically when you're assigned to a group, that's religious. Does it not say in the Quran that, it says very clearly in religion that no one, not even the spiritual leaders, the ones that started these organizations, no one is going to save you in the next world. No one. You can't claim that title on yourself or anyone. That is the thing that I'm sick and tired of. These divisions and these categories. Businessmen. I go to this mosque and I belong to this organization. So they give their, they give that whole organization's religious beliefs, right? And they feed it to you saying, now I'm religious. I've donated to this place. Okay, fair enough. All right, like that's up until that point, it's fair. I understand that, yeah? So now they've given you information saying I belong to this organization and I give charity and I go to their gatherings weekly and I attend and I follow the scholar that started this organization, like he's giving me this information. He, her, male, female, it doesn't matter. I speak to all, global, right? Someone could be 10,000 kilometers away watching this video at God knows what time. I don't know who's watching this video. Watch it or don't watch it, I don't care. For the ones that watch it, I do appreciate it. For the ones that support, I do appreciate it, right? But I can't attribute this thing where, saying please watch me, I want clout. I told you I'm not here for clout. Right, but anyways, getting back to the topic. Yeah, the guy feeds you this information, yeah? So this automatically means, I'll put it to you, and this isn't about today or yesterday, this is my whole belief in my, my whole life, my whole 29 years coming, yeah? You can think saying, oh, he's talking about last week and today and blah, blah, blah. And talk and bitch all you want. That's all good, no problem. The haters, as I said, the haters will always hate. They will, like, whatever you do, they won't find good in it. So I'm going to keep going. I don't care. I had enough. So yeah, the guy feeds you that information, right? And so now automatically I think, okay, because psychology, that's how the brain works, yeah? I'm sorry I'm not a psychologist and I'm not educated. Sorry, brother. I don't have a degree on this, but you've given me this information. Now I've taken on this information. I go, okay, now this guy, I know his identity, yeah? Because our identity belongs somewhere. Just the way I've told you, I don't belong to no one. I'm a jobless cunt. I'm an uneducated cunt. I don't know anything. I don't have any sort of degree. I've claimed that to you very clearly. This guy claims that any person claims that, saying, okay, all right, fair. But then he tries fucking you over. He lies to you. He full lies. He deceives you. He doesn't pay you a proper wage. He promises you a certain amount. Very clearly, he says this out of his mouth. He goes, I'm going to pay you this much. So this is deceivement. This is deceivement. Or people that are religious. Why aren't you paying the full rates when you're running a business I'm talking about Australia? Why aren't you paying the full rates then? Why are you trying to cut corners? There's rates. I know this. I've ran a business. There's rates, and when you go to professional companies, the companies that are growing $1 million businesses, they are forced to pay rates up to $30, $40 each. It's all online. It's all online. Your morning shift might be $25. Your night shift is $35. Why aren't you paying the rates then? Why aren't you paying its full due, knowing that this is the law, knowing that you should, but you don't? Oh, but I want to cut corners and this and that. Okay, fair enough. No one's perfect. Why aren't you doing it then? Why? Because people have gone into this mindset. I'm going to be saved because I go to these weekly gatherings. I'm going to be saved because we are a whole. It's not me. They say there's 1 million people in this organization, so I get the 1 million rewards. So I don't have to do anything extra. I can break the laws. I can do as I want. I can blow the money as I want. I don't have to give it full 110%. Because why? We're an organization. We're together. We're one. We're brotherhood. And then you see someone from the outside, yeah, and I miss them. And this is the truth, yeah. This is the truth. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows. Do Muslims not have a bad name? I'm speaking on my behalf. Because you look at someone that's doesn't follow any religion, but the guy follows every single rule to its dot, from the tax to its laws to saying no, like I have to put you on tax, I have to put you on this, and like companies, I go no, like you can't do this, it's not safe. And they follow the rules, even if it costs them extra money, even if it costs them hundreds or thousands, because they get scared. They go, the government's looking, I don't want to disappoint the government. That's them, that's their own belief, whatever. But this is just an example. Take the good, leave the bad, right? This is the good that I'm taking. But then, unfortunately, you look at Muslims, right? And I don't speak to individuals in the sense where I'm targeting a whole religion, right? This still connects back to organizations, because you're the one that preaches. Your normal average person doesn't preach. For the ones that make these statements, right? For the ones that make these, but if it's your average Joe and they don't claim any of this and they go, I'm an individual, like, oh yeah, I'm Muslim, but yeah, like I'm not connected to anything, I'm me. Good on you, brother. Good on you. Perfect. Continue that way, if anything, because now you've told me that you don't belong, so I don't have that assumption saying, yeah, you know what, like he's him, he could be drinking alcohol, he could be hanging out with girls, he could do whatever he wants. That's between him and God, because he doesn't claim that, he doesn't preach that. But the moment you put that title on yourself, which you do and a lot of people do, then now you've exposed yourself. So why are you trying to fuck me over? Right? This is what gives Islam a bad name, does it not? Follow the rules and regulations then, brother. Follow the rules and regulations, because I've worked both for companies and people that are non-Muslim, and I've worked for Muslim companies, and I'll be very honest with you, and a lot of people know this as well. A lot. You at times would say, brother, and I've said this many times, I'd rather work for a non-Muslim, honestly. Because he gives my annual leave, he gives my rights, he gives me my time off, he follows the law. You know, I'm protected. I feel like, you know, I'm protected. I have rights. But then you go to, unfortunately, a Muslim, and there's people that do it and don't do it. It's not about being perfect. I'm trying to send a message here. And it's from my own experiences, without giving any names or targeting at anyone. Then you go and I've witnessed this, I've lived this. You get fucked over. You get fucked over hard. They promise you, saying, I'm going to pay you, let's say, $350. They say this, right? They say this. They go, if you do this, I'm going to pay you this much. If you do this, I'm going to pay you that much. $350 a day. Then you go and start the work. The first shift of many shifts that I've done, boom, you get your pay. Or it might be, I'm going to pay you $25 an hour. And then the guy comes, you finish your shift, you complete it. You've spoken something, depending on your experience and your confidence or whatever it is. And then boom, the guy goes, oh no, I didn't say that, this and that. It's like, no, you did say that. You know that I can pull off the job. You know that I'm capable. And you've attributed yourself to an organization to claim yourself a title of religious, but then you come try fucking me over. You do what you want. And the other people I'll talk about, Muslim, again, good and bad on both sides. There's always both sides. You have Muslims, yeah, and generally the ones that are successful, right? You'll see, honestly, you'll see the ones that are successful. The Muslim still doesn't belong to no organization, nothing. He goes, I'm himself. And the guy picks up the box, he's a millionaire. The guy picks up the box and he gives it to you and he's humble. And then I just say, I'm like, you know what? I can understand why, in a way, like, no, I don't know the guy's life or anything. I can understand why God has blessed him with this, because he's so just, right? Like, every time you have an interaction with certain people that are still, you know, they're rising up in the ranks, whether it's spiritually, whether it's, you know, within business, but they're kind-hearted, they're humble. You get that from the first 10 seconds, first 30 seconds. You don't need to have that full interaction. That's what it is. I'm trying to preach awareness. Like, open up your eyes and look around, ask questions. Because the years are going past and these problems aren't being solved. There are issues here in religious organization. There's massive issues here, but it's just like cover it up. Until what? What are you trying to cover up? Why are you trying to cover it up? You want to talk about spying? But it's okay when you pick and select people, right? You can pick and select people, and you can tell people not to come to gatherings because they go against your views, because they speak truth, right? They speak truth. They ask the difficult questions, and he annoys you. He makes you fucking nuts. Yeah, he goes, why the fuck is this guy asking me these questions? Why is he asking for bank statements? What is he trying to imply? I'm not trying to imply anything. I'm speaking my truth. I'm not telling you to watch this video. I don't know how many views it's gonna get. I just speak. You're not directly in front of me, are you? How do you know who I'm talking to, who I'm talking about? You don't, and I'll tell you who I'm talking about. It's global. And for the individuals that get mad about this video, okay, let me claim that as well. I'll make it even more difficult. I love when people don't want to see me, because I'll tell you this, right? When you start losing people in life, this is advice that I want to give. When you start losing people in life, that's when you know, one, that's God taking people away from your life. Two, you don't need a lot of people. You only need God. You need a few friends that are really supportive, and you need your family. That's it. If you got those, you're already blessed with the world, bro. Fuck what 99% of the other people think. You don't need that. You don't. Because, like, look at it realistically. We spend most of our time, 99% of our time, with our family, with the ones that we love, and the other we see here and there. So don't worry about it. You don't need a lot of people. And I've said this before as well. The people that will hate you today, the people that don't want you today, they will come to you when there's success and money. Because that's what speaks. That's when your voice gets heard. Have I not said this, where this is my journaling for myself, so I can reflect? So I can see from my first very AI generation, which was in terms very shit, it was on a free program, to me growing, and inshallah, within God's trust, I know that one day I'll be financially strong as well, because that's my goal. It's to do business. It's not to become a scholar or to become educated or to become part of an organization. I'm part of myself. I am who I am. But when that day comes, and this goes for everyone, that's when, and when you hear successful, that's when people will come and be and message. That's when this phone that's quiet right now, this phone that people don't want to even see me, my presence next to them, this phone will start buzzing off, and then people want your attention, saying, "Oh, where are you? How can you know when I hang out?" Or when you drive a nice car, when you have a $200,000 car, you know. I'm not saying I'm definitely gonna get this, but this reality, everyone knows this. When you drive a 200, 300k car, when you drive a Lamborghini, for example, the rich people, that's when all the attention starts. But does that person care? No, he doesn't care. He made it. Ask that person. Go look at videos on social media of every Muslim or non-Muslim, the people that have made it, the people that are millionaires, the people that have made it somewhere. It all starts with solitude. It all starts with speaking the truth. It all starts through struggles. It doesn't start with people's opinions. And these are my days. These are my struggles. But I know that these struggles, everything, my whole 29 years is going to lead somewhere. And I keep in mind today, just the way I say it on video, as is, whatever I say in person, I say in video. These people that ignore me today, these people that don't reply to my messages, don't come to me when I make it, brother. Don't come to me. I'm serious. Don't come to me, bro. And it's not in the sense where, oh, I'm gonna become arrogant and it's like, fuck you. No. I'll still keep my heart open. I will, because that's my job. I have to, because that's when I lose. But you know exactly who you are and what you did. You don't want me now? Okay, brother, all right. I'll still come and shake your hand and still act humble, because I'm trying to be human. I will. But then I'll know very clearly. I'll be like, oh, on this day, when I got out of prison 2 months in, people were picking on me, people didn't want me, people were uncomfortable by all these videos. Let's say it took 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. And I'll look back, I'll be like, wow, I remember the days where I only had 5 views on my video. But now, suddenly, because, you know, inshallah, I hope to make it. When I do make it, and I look back, and those videos blow up, oh, now the people that don't want me around. Okay. That just shows your insecurity, and it goes back to my point. I'll give you another information for the men, right? For the men. I clean dishes. Right? I vacuum the house. Ooh. Now, is this going to make you mad as well? Saying, oh man, feminism. I realized that I came out of prison. I'm like, in prison, I was doing dishes and vacuuming for people. Because you have to, right? You have to. And that's another example that I'm going to give later on. But coming back to my point, I do. Why wouldn't I do? I haven't done it for years. That's my mistake. But I realized, you know what? I'm going to clean the dishes. I'm going to hang up the clothes. I'm going to vacuum the house. A grown-ass man, 29 years old, and I'm such a sick cunt. Yeah, I'll do it. I don't care. I'll do it every day. That's my mum. I'm not married, but if I was married, that's, you know, I'd say the same. That's my wife. What? Because I'm worried that someone's gonna see me doing the dishes, or people are gonna be like, oh, you know, you help out and you do dishes, you know, and all those bullshit comments are gonna say whatever you want. I'll roll up my sleeves, put up my pants, and I'll still wash the dishes and do it. I don't care. I'll do it. I've done it today. Look, I got a cut here from the scrubber when I was. I'll do it because my mum comes first. Now, there will be some people saying this. I'm guessing. I haven't got any information. There'll be some people saying this. Oh, man. Now he's talking about this. Oh, okay. You can take the good in this video. Again, you can see what I'm trying to preach. Leave the bad and take the good and be like, yeah, you know what? He's got a point. He's trying to point out, saying, growth starts within yourself. Growth starts within yourself. Conquer your own fears. Conquer your own inner demons. It starts within the present. It starts with awareness. It's about being present in the moment. It's not about tomorrow. It's what you do right now, this second. That useless task in front of you, that dish, do it. And you, again, I'll give you an example to back this up. When you hear stories about joining the army, for example, in Turkey or anywhere, right? And this isn't in the tactical, violent way or anything like that. Nothing like that. There's two places that you'll really learn discipline, where you rather do this or you're fucked, in other terms, right? Two places. That's prison, where it's literally like that. I would look into people's eyes and people's eyes would be like that. in, like, you can tell, like, you'll look at everyone's eyes and everyone is on edge, bro. Everyone is on edge. I did 4 months, there was nothing. There are people doing in there for years. You wake up feeling like shit. You wake up feeling angry. You wake up feeling depressed. But bro, when you put 400 people together that are on the same boat, that are all criminals, not that I'm judging or anything like that, you learn. You don't have one slip up. Because if you snap, the person across you is going through the exact same thing. You're gonna get knocked. And you learn that. You wake up day after day. However you feel, comfortable, angry, happy. You wake up and you're like, I'm in fucking prison. You miss your family or whatever. You feel depressed. You feel like you're gonna cry. You feel, like anxious, nervous. And you've got no other choice but to suck it up and just take it on. And if anything, kindness goes a long, long way. Everyone can vouch to this. Yes, you'll have the people that find trouble, that don't find trouble. This is the preach to life. And it teaches you there very well. And again, you'll find people that have been in prison that learn their lesson, just like the example that I gave on my other episode. People that come out stronger and people that don't. That's alright. There's, with everything, there's good and bad. There's both sides to all. Right, in the second place, I haven't been or enrolled in an army, but I know from a lot of stories and people that I've been in, the army, especially Turkey, right, teaches you discipline. In Turkey, for example, you are forced to, I don't know the exact timing, I think it's like 1 year or something. You're forced to go. You have to. It's like as a citizen, you have to. Like for me, for example, I've extended it until the age of 35, but because I'm international, I can pay my way around it. If I can't pay the money, I gotta go. And I know from a lot of people, and you watch videos, again, education is just out there. When you see, and just out of respect, when you see commandos, right? When you see generals, people that are in high position, the guy isn't there, or like people in power of any sort of business or anything like that. People that have made it, people that are successful. Do you think the guy is there trying to look around and say, oh, I should please this person, I should please that person, and I should, do this and I should do that? And I know, I've heard stories, and I've been given examples saying, yeah, prison's exactly like that. Where in Turkey, you go against the commando, the general, you get slapped. That's Turkey's condition. It's just a discipline way, to the teaching discipline. And what they do, from stories I heard, it's not about warfare and gun or anything like that. No. It starts with make up your bed. And you see videos of, like Navy units and whatnot. They wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. and they jump into the freezing cold ocean. And you see, like masculinity training, right? Mainly done in these areas of the army or even outside. Cold showers, uncomfortableness, feeling uncomfort. And they all tell you, I've watched the video of this guy that was really successful in he's like a Navy SEAL and he's accomplished like a lot of great stuff. And he made a speech, honestly, and I found that amazing. He's like, change starts with making up your bed. And this relates back to my example of people that were in the army in Turkey as well. You gotta fix your bed. You cut potatoes, you do dishes.